So I recently visited FAB25 in Czech Republic. So this is the start of the story. So FAB25, or we can say FabX, is an annual gathering of global FabLab community, bringing together educators, innovators, makers, artists, policymakers, and more to discuss, collaborate, and share knowledge about future of digital fabrication. So that's the main agenda of this flagship event, and it takes place in different part of the world every year. Like this time in 2025, it happened in two beautiful cities of Czech Republic. One is Brno from 4th to 7th of July, and second is Prague from 8th to 11th of July. And each and every day was full of talks from some really renowned personalities, workshops on several different topics. Also, makers came there and showcased their own products and innovations. And the most beautiful part, this is a family event, means you can bring your kids along as they have dedicated spots and events for your little innovator. Other than that, I experienced some really cool concepts like Fabricademy and Mobile FabLab, which I was not at all aware about before coming to this event. So that's FAB25 according to me, and in this video, I'll be covering each segment discussed right now in detail along with all the important links in the description so that you can check them out later as well. Also, I have provided proper timestamps below this video so that you can check out the part which you are most interested in. And in case if you want to experience the complete FAB25 event along with me, well, I recommend do not skip the video and watch it till the end. So now, let's start with the speaker session. So let's talk about the speaker session. So every day during the first half, like from 9 to 12, 12:30, we were having the keynote speaker sessions from some of the really renowned personalities. And the day one started with the talk from Dr. Neil Grishenfeld and Sari Lassiter, which are two really important personalities behind global FabLab movement. And this year, Dr. Neil shared that we should be focusing on the impact rather than counting numbers.
Today, coming out of this meeting, is how we scale impact. We've gone from 1 to 1,000 Fab Labs, and that's exciting. We're in 150 countries. Roughly, there's 1,000 cities on Earth. We now need to go to 1 million. There's about 1 million cities on Earth. We need to go to 1 billion. There's about 1 billion people on Earth. And so the challenge before us is no longer how to count Fab Labs, but how do we scale the impact of what we're doing? How to count impact, not just lab growth.
And similarly, we were having lots and lots of talks from several different personalities every day. Now, out of all those talks, I personally kind of like some of them, so let me share those with you. So the first one was from Mr. Massimo, who is the founder of Arduino, and he kind of shared the complete journey about how Arduino started, what was the first prototype, how Arduino got its name. He also shared the story about starting Maker Faire Rome and FabLab in Italy. It was really great to hear the story from beginning directly from Massimo. And you know what's the best part for you? All the recordings of all the talks happened in FAB25 are available on YouTube, so you can watch them out by just sitting in your couch. So to watch this recording, you just need to go to the official FAB25 page, and here under the schedules, you can see the talks from all the people, and there is a button called as watch recording, by clicking on which you will be redirected to YouTube and you can watch the complete talk. This is definitely really convenient for all those who were not able to make to the event. So let me share the other talks which I personally liked well. One was from Mark, who shared about the economics of FabLab, which was kind of really interesting. So he shared that starting a FabLab is easy, like you can get the funding easily, but to sustain it for let's say 3 to 5 years, well, it's really difficult. And he also shared the statistic that most of the Fab Labs get shut down after 3 to 5 years because they are not able to sustain it. So in his presentation, he shared all the ways with the help of which he made the Fab Lab sustainable. So you should definitely check that out. And the other talk which I liked was the one from Mr. Dale, who is the founder of Make Magazine. And he not only shared the story behind the Make Magazine and behind starting the Maker Fairs, but he also talked about one really important thing which I am kind of thinking a lot during my visit to colleges and schools as well, which was about education system. So he shared that the education system is still the same which we used to see like decades and decades ago, and it should be changed right now in 2025. He also shared that if he starts his own school, how it will look like. So you should definitely watch out the talk from Dale and you're gonna love it totally. So that's how the Fab event morning looks like, and after 12:30 till 2 p.m. we were having the lunch time, and luckily there were also vegetarian option available, which is a really good thing for a pure vegetarian like me. So I had that lunch on day one, but from the next day I used to avoid that because in Europe eggs are also considered into vegetarian meal, and I kind of avoid eggs as well. But yeah, very few people were like me, so meal was not an issue for anyone. So after the meal, like from 2 p.m. up to 6 p.m, we were having lots and lots of workshops. So let's talk about workshop in detail. So now talking about the workshops, then there were a lot of workshops at FAB25 on several different topics, but the issue was most of the workshops were on the same time, so you really needed to choose a specific one which you want to attend. And let me tell you, the workshops were not just about electronics. Like we were having a workshop on making our own wooden pan, basic of stitching and sewing, soldering the maker coin, which is a FAB25 badge made of PCB, and we need to solder all the components to make the LED chaser project, and a lot others. So what I did is I tried to record the snippets of couple of workshops, so let me show you those clips.
Hi everyone, this is Violet from C Studio. We are hosting a workshop called How to Add AI to Almost Anything at FAB25 in Czech Republic. So it shows you how to use the Xiao ESP32S3 Sense and train your AI model with SenseCraft AI within a few click steps. And then you can deploy your own model, and then you can even use it to trigger the LED to on and off, and even more with MQTT or other different ways for you to transmit the result of the inference and then trigger some other actions. So check it out.
Hello, my name is Guillem Camperdon from FabLab Barcelona. We are here at FAB25 with a seed studio with Mestastic doing a hackathon to design the next version of the Smart Citizen Kit. That's a sensor that collects environmental data like air pollution, like noise pollution. And we are working so the next version uses the Mestastic protocol, so it doesn't rely on Wi-Fi, and so it works without a standard internet infrastructure, and you can get data on the field.
Yeah, hi, I'm Michael. I'm from HRW FabLab in Bottrop, Germany, and what we see here is a workshop on ultrasonic levitation, which means that when you have two ultrasonic speakers with 40,000 hertz and you have a standing wave inside, then at every 4.1.5 millimeter you can put a ball inside, and this levitates in the air. And this is an electronic workshop, especially for young people normally, to interest them for STEM. It's a very easy workshop to solder this electronic and to be embarrassed about the result and have these balls flying in the air.
Hello, my name is Jorge Montalvo. I'm from Colombia, and today I'll be giving a workshop on CAD GPT, so using generative AI to create 3D models using multiple tools. So all participants will be exploring generative AI coding and creating 3D models that they could later 3D print.
So those were some of the many other workshops happening under the same roof at FAB25. And in between, we were also having our own workshop on Nordic Thingy 91X, but unfortunately, I don't have any video of that workshop, hence I'm showing a couple of photos to you. So let me tell you, this workshop was on behalf of Hackster.io, and I, being Hackster Pro, along with Ginger, organized this workshop at FAB25. And let me tell you, I was selected as one of the winner of the contest on Hackster.io, and by winning that contest, I was able to travel to FAB25 and can organize my workshops. So here I'd like to give a big shout out to Hackster.io and Ginger for giving me such an amazing opportunity. And for those who haven't yet registered on Hackster.io, well, I'll definitely recommend you, because you may get a chance to win a trip like FAB25 in one of the contests. So do check out contest at Hackster.io. I'll be providing the links in the description. So anyways, that was all about the workshops under FAB25. And with this, one thing is clear, that FAB25 is not just event to attend the speakers or do networking, but by coming to FAB25, you can also learn a lot of new skills by attending these workshops. And these workshops are completely free of cost. Like, the price of the workshop is included in your FAB25 ticket or FabX ticket. Plus, some of the workshop may give you free hardware so that you can try your own projects after the event as well. And after the workshops, like after 7 and 8 p.m, we used to have party almost every day, which lasts up to 12 or sometimes 2 a.m. as well. So the Fab parties are full of dance and music and fun and lot of networking. So yeah, almost every day of Fab event looks the same. Speaker session, workshops, party and repeat. But wait, that's really not it. We were having couple of surprises running in parallel to this event, so let me share all the surprises to you one by one. Okay, so now let's talk about the exhibitions at FAB25. So here I didn't get a chance to explore all the stalls at the exhibition, so I'll share whatever I have experienced at the event. So at FAB25, we're having the stalls from both individual makers and companies showcasing their products and projects. So first, let's start with the stalls from the companies. So first I saw the stall from Seed Studio where they showcased their latest product. Later, we had a stall from SolidWorks where the main attraction was this 3D scanner which can make 3D model of anything of any surface, and later we can use that model anywhere we want. Then we were having a dedicated space for Prusha Labs where they were having several different kinds of 3D printed samples, and trust me, they were really good. We also saw a completely 3D printed tire which has both hard material and the soft rubber type material. Everything 3D printed. And along with that 3D prints, we also saw a lot of 3D printers from Prusha Lab in this event. Now talking about the individual makers then, I found a couple of artistic project showcased by individual makers. Out of them, one was called as Reflection by Adam and Peter, and this project has dozens of independently moving mirrors controlled by servo motors at the back. And when I saw closely, they were the MG996 servo motors. And this may seem mirrors are moving randomly, but when I checked their website, I found that the artist can program the movement of the mirrors based upon the theme of the event where it is installed. They can also make in-sync movement with the lights and sound, which will create a unique experience. Later, we get to see this quantum jungle made by Robin. Well, this project is a fun way to visualize quantum physics. Well, let's hear more from the maker himself.
Hi, I'm Robin Baumgarten and this is Quantum Jungle, my interactive art installation that visualizes quantum physics. And it's like a quantum particle that is simulated with Schrödinger's equation like this, which is like now in all of those states. And when you touch it again, you observe the quantum particle and it collapses into one position.
Well, I totally love the concept of creating artistic project with electronics to showcase in these events like FAB25. And now there was one interesting stall which got my attention at FAB25 because that is not about a project or a product, rather it's a concept which is new for me, which I never heard before coming to this event. And that concept is called as Fabricademy. So Fabricademy is an educational program that explores the intersection of textile, digital fabrication and biology. So at this stall, we get to meet Anastasia, who is the co-founder of Fabricademy, and she explained me everything about Fabricademy and also showcased me some of the creative projects, like here is a glove with a DIY band sensor for controlling origami kinetic sculptures. Then they also made dye using living bacteria to dye textile. Later, they showcased their really amazing innovations like a jacket made out of coffee waste, a leather made out of algae, jewelry made out of bioplastic, and a DIY polymerized textile which is attracted towards magnet, what they call it as magnetic textile. Furthermore, Anastasia in 2017 pioneered open source recipe books for making different bio-based materials using organic waste and biopolymers, whose sample I get to see at the stall. So all these things and much more are taught in a 6-month course which any one of you watching this video can attend. So what I think is Fabricademy is a great mixture of learning 3D printing, textile, biology and electronics all in one course. Well, I'll be leaving away the link of Fabricademy down in the description of this video so you can check it out. And also during my visit, I came to know that you can also attend Fabricademy in India at Somaiya School of Design in Mumbai. So if you are from India and if you are interested in joining this course, well, you can connect with us and we'll connect you with the dedicated team. And in case if you want to travel, you can also check the network of labs at their website. So that was something totally new concept for me, which I heard for the first time at FAB25. And no, that's not the only new thing which I heard at FAB25. Rather, I have one more interesting, new, fresh concept which I heard for the first time at FAB25 itself. And this is called as Mobile FabLab. So now if you ask me what's that one thing which I like the most in this complete FAB25 event, well, then it will surely be Mobile FabLabs. So the Mobile FabLab is a concept in which the complete FabLab is set up on wheels which can be moved to any remote locations. Now the question is, why this concept exists and what's the need of it? Well, let me explain. So FabLab is a place where you can turn almost any of your idea into reality, as it got a lot of different tools and machines in it. And now of course, starting your own FabLab is not that easy. Like, you'll require a lot of money, a big space and skilled mentors. So not all the schools and colleges can afford having one, especially in the rural areas. So for those students who don't get these facilities at their school and who want to get access to these things to turn their idea into reality, the concept of Mobile FabLab was introduced. So this Mobile FabLab started to different schools in the cities, and they place the Mobile FabLab at the premises so that students can access the complete lab free of cost, as this complete mobile lab is funded by government. So with this great initiative, students not only get the access to all the machines and tools and equipments, but they also learn new skill and can also make some amazing projects in it. So at FAB25, I get a chance to explore 2 different mobile fab labs. One was from FabLab Brno and other one was from EduLabs, which is funded by Skoda. So now if I let you know what kind of machines each mobile FabLab has, then in the mobile FabLab Brno, I get to see a couple of 3D printers, a CNC milling machine, a vinyl cutter, a heat press for adding stickers on the t-shirt. Then we were also having a laser cutter at the corner, and later they were also having a robotic arm and a desk with a couple of laptops and a big TV screen to have some presentations there. A lot of things inside a truck, really impressive. Later, the one from the Skoda were having a lot of interesting gadgets in it, just like they were having a robot dog, a Apple Vision Pro, a holographic glass which we can interact with the motion sensor, a dual arm collaborative robot, and much more things. And this mobile fab lab was also completely free to use for school and college students. Isn't that super amazing and super duper useful concept? Well, I totally loved it. So till now I discussed the main highlights of the event, but trust me, there were a lot other events happening in parallel. Just like we were having a complete train full of makers which was named as Maker Train, which took us from Brno to Prague for the second phase of FAB25. And in the train as well, we were having some workshops which I didn't attend, but yeah, this was also the part of FAB25.
What did you just say? I said that I watch your channel and I think you're awesome, and keep doing what you do because we appreciate it very much.
This is not scripted, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Can I have my $100 now?
Later in Prague, we were having a dedicated space for young innovators from age 5 to age 15, and they were having their separate workshops where they were making some DIY projects. Later one day, we also got a chance to visit the Prusa factory, which is based in Prague, and there we get to see the 3D printing farm of Prusa, and all the 3D printers were printing parts of new 3D printers. It sounds like robots building robots. This was my first time ever visiting a 3D printer factory. Later, we were also having the roundtable sessions like the one with Mr. Dale, who is the founder of Make Magazine, and here we discussed on the problems people face in running maker spaces, and later we had discussions about how we can solve it, and here I also got a chance to interact with Mr. Dale personally and ask some questions about Make Magazine and makers. Further, we were also having the FAN Meetup, which stands for FabLab Asia Network, where people from different FabLab across Asia gathered and we discussed on how we can build the Asian community more stronger. Also, at the end of the meet, we decided to have our next meet in Maker Faire Shenzhen this year, so let's see how it goes. And likewise, there were several other events and meetups happening in parallel, which unfortunately I was not able to attend and experience. But overall, I shared almost all the things which I personally experienced at FAB25 in Czech Republic. And really, the event is so big and diverse that it's almost impossible for a single person to experience it all. So now I want your take on this event, to share at least one thing which you like the most about this Fab event, and also share one thing which you think should be added to this event to make it much more better. Do share your thoughts in the comments so that in future when FabX comes to India, we can arrange the best ever experience for all the makers around the world. And yeah, with that being said, I'm just ending this video here, and now just wait for my next video and then let's explore, learn, share with me, techiesms.